Well, in my view, what social policy is, it's about making very clear decisions about the direction with regards to things that impact on all aspects of our life, whether it's food, whether it's healthcare, whether it's justice. Those are all aspects of social policy. Well, if we lived in a utopian world, what we would do is we would all be self-governing and we would all respect each other and we would never make decisions that impacted on other human beings. But unfortunately, we don't live in that place. And so what we need social policy that protects often the most vulnerable people in our society. And that can be seniors, it can be young children, it can be people who are perhaps not capable of making their own decisions. It can be people who are poor. So there are a lot of people who really do need social policy to protect their rights. But it's also a guiding factor for us when we are making up legislation, when we're developing legislation, that we have these principles and values that are reflected in our social policy that are also reflected in our legislation. Well, we're a disparate region. The federal riding of Nanaimo-Cowichan at one time was the third poorest riding in British Columbia. And that means that we've got a lot of different needs and issues that need to be addressed. And so, for example, we also have many, many groups that are working sometimes at cross purposes because they don't know each other or they don't know the services that they provide. And what social policy does is help us all row the boat in the same direction. And it helps us benchmark where we might want to put our priorities and our scarce resources. And so social policy helps us shape the kinds of approaches that we would think are important in the Cowichan Valley. Well, again, I'm going to be utopian here. So I think one of the things that should guide social policy is do no harm. And that means that whatever we do, we need to reflect on whether it's going to impact on people, whether it's going to impact on the environment. I think, secondly, one of the overriding principles has to be protection of human rights. And that also includes the environment, and it includes whether we're discriminating or whether we're developing policies that are going to adversely affect some of the people in our region, whether it's women, whether it's children, whether it's minorities, whether it's First Nations. So I think those are all important values. So do no harm, protecting human rights, looking to make sure that we all have access to resources in our communities.